Demonized Kyo here. So we're here with another release resistance build. So for this video, I know in my last video we primarily focused on ultimates. For this one we're going to be focusing on regular jutsus, and specifically we're going to be focusing on release type natures. So first we'll do I'll go over the tool factory, like what tools you're looking for this essentially. Then we'll go over some base test where we run my Hashirama with no resistances. Then we'll run him with about 30% resistances, and then we'll finally run him at my max resistance I have him at, which is 65. For these two tests, we will be using 7th Hokage Naruto, and we will be using Sage of 6 Paths Naruto, as they are the most release heavy type units, I think. After that, we'll be doing an ultimate showcase to see what release type ultimates my Hashirama can tank, and then we'll also be throwing in some pots just because they do give additional defense, and for this video, defense is going to play a part. That being said, I hope everyone is staying safe and everyone is doing well. You know, there's kind of a global pandemic going on. My city is currently doing its best impersonation of a Resident Evil game, minus the zombies. So everything is kind of on lockdown. So I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope everyone is well. I hope they're taking the proper precautions, and they're staying inside so the whole world can kind of get over this thing. So that being said, let's get into the video. So in my last video, we talked about how to defend against ultimates. It's a little bit different when we're talking about regular jutsus. So we're going to pull up release type resistances here. We're primarily, you wanted to focus on HP. Now we're kind of splitting that with defense. Defense does affect how much damage you're going to take from regular jutsus. So you'll see here we have our first tool, the Gambuta trinket. We have HP, defense, and CP, and then we got our release resistance. We also got a little confusion resistance. So this is good if you're trying to split resistances between status ailments and release type natures, but not quite what we're looking for right now. So here we have HP and crit. So this would be good for maybe a blue or a red type character who you might be trying to give some resistances to. But primarily what we're going to do is we're focusing on high defense and high HP based characters. So this is not what we're looking for right now. Then we have attack and evade. So there's no defense, no HP. This is definitely not it. Then we have our 3-ring replica. So you'll see here we have 2 defense stats and 2 attack stats. And we have our release nature. So this is definitely a contender. If we're trying to split attack and defense, this is a really good choice. And then lastly, we have defense and HP. So if we're going pure survivability, this is the ideal choice. This is exactly what we want. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on the 3-ring replica because that's what I've been crafting a lot of. So let's take a look at my Hashirama. So you'll see here, let's pull him up. I did remove his jutsus for this test, so we can, but you'll see he's actually closer to 149,000 POW. So he did go down from an A rank, so you will lose your pretty silver letter and get this boring B, but in my opinion, it is kind of somewhat worth it. So we'll look at my Hashirama here. You'll see he has 23,000 HP, just over 10,000 attack, 17,000 defense, and we have 65% release nature resistance. But for this test, what we'll be doing is we'll be showcasing base base Hashirama first. So we're going to take off all of his jutsus here, and we're going to give him, we're going to put an emphasis on his attack, his HP and his defense. So we're going to actually go to HP here. We're going to unclick, that is unclick, and we're going to just put in our tan vest. I'm not using his armor replica. I'll kind of get into that later. So you'll see here now we have 25,000 HP, 18,000 defense, and no resist to any type of release. So this is what we're going to be testing with initially. So we'll go to our fort. I did change my fort so we can do this rather quickly. We have Hashirama in the first room. So the first character we'll be looking at is the 7th Hokage. We're looking at 7th Hokage because he is a release nature heavy character. You'll see all 3 of his regular jutsus are release type. This is the ideal loadout for 7th Hokage, if anyone was wondering. You'll see here we're also running a release nature type power boost. So we're running 32% there, and he has just under 12,000 attack. So for that test, so we'll be using him for the first one just to kind of see how he does against base Hashirama. So we have we have some data to expand upon. So we'll be using all of his jutsus in conjunction. So we'll start with the rasen shuriken, which is 1. So second rasen shuriken. And essentially he's dead after the second clone set, which is pretty standard. Narukage is not, the 7th Hokage is not a slouch when it comes to damage dealing despite his low attack stat. So now we're going to be looking at the second heavy, or probably the most popular or useful release type character, which is Sage of 6 Paths Naruto. You'll see here my Sage of 6 Paths does have under 15,000 attack. You'll also notice he is running power boost on release nature types as well. He's kind of stacked there, I'm not even going to lie. So you see on his seal light 2 we have 18%, and then we have 9% and 8%, and we have those little things that add up to another one. So he's running about 36% power boost just on this one tool. And then we have his second tool, and that's another 7, so that's 43%. Then we have a 9, that's 52%. And then we have an 8, which is 60%, and then we have another 8, which is 68%. So my Sage of 6 Paths has a 68% release nature power boost to these 3 jutsus, which is his ultimate, his magnet style rasengan, and his lava style rasen shuriken, which is pretty much his kit. Some people, I run Truth Seeker kick, but that's because I'm weird. So we're gonna now look at him versus base Hashirama. So for this one, we'll just kind of have him run through a pool, and we'll see how long it takes to kill him, because it does do release type damage. So here we have one pool, and he's already run away from it. So you see here, he's taking about anywhere from 700 to 1,000 per tick. He was able to survive the first pool with no... He ran away, but you'll see the damage kind of speaks for itself. So next, we are going to put on our mid resistance build. Actually, we'll just go all in right now. So we'll go 65%. We'll take all of this off because no, we won't. We'll do mid. We'll definitely do mid. We'll stick with mid. Stick to the plan. All right. So we see we have 8.6, 8.1, 8.2, 8.1 again, and then at 7.9. So these 4 are kind of our tool production tools, or our factory tools. I will not be using, it's kind of like my opinion, if you pulled on Hashirama, you did get his armor, so there's no reason why you would run 4 of these. Instead, you would be running 3, and then you would be running whatever you have on his armor. So we're going to start with that, because that's kind of like the most possible build, even if you're just free to play. So you'll see here, we have 43% resistances. We just have over 17,000 defense, and we have 23,000 HP. So we're going to do this test again. We're going to be using 7th Hokage. If you recall, he died on the second clone set, so we're going to see how far we can push Hashirama with 45% resistances, or 43%. So this is 1. So that's 2. That's 3. So you'll see he died on the third clone set. So he had like he got another full rotation in. So we'll do now Sage of 6 Paths. We're gonna try to keep him. Oops, that was a mistake. We're gonna try to keep him in this pool. And you'll see before where he was taking 700 to 1,000, he's now taking closer from 400 to 600. And he was pretty able easily to survive that pool. He just ran away, he's taking damage over time, but he's gonna die now. So to kind of make things a little more interesting, we are going to add a pot to this. If you're using this on defense, there are like ways to mitigate further mitigate damage, you'll see here the pot, the Mirage Aroma pot, does increase attack and defense. And because we are defending against regular natures, regular jutsus, it actually does give some good additional survivability to unit. So before, you saw we had 3. He died on the 3rd set of clones. So we're going to see how far we can push Hashirama now. We're going to make sure this pot is active. The pot is not active unless you see that aroma coming from it. So now you'll see he has his little aura up. So this is 1. So we're on 2 now. This is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. So he died on the 5th set. You'll also see, like, if you're watching my chakra, I used almost half of my chakra just to kill him. Of course, like if I'm using normal attacks, it's different, but it's worth noting that there is definitely also some waste coming from the attacker regarding this. Essentially, the more jutsus they have to use, the less they have for other characters or other defenders in your base. So we're gonna do this again. We're gonna have this lava. Just gonna try to have him run through it. And again, like we didn't activate the pot. I gotta remember to activate these pots. So the pot is active. He has that increased defense now. I'm gonna run to this corner. Come on, Hashi. Alright, so we got 1, and you'll notice not much difference here. He is on the low end now, taking between 300 to 600 per tick when he's in this pool. But he completely survived the first one. So we're going to do another one. Well, it looks like from 200 to 600 potentially. So yeah, it took definitely at least 2, maybe 3 if he runs out of it. So now we're going to use our high resistance Hashi bit. Ideally, I would like to get him up to about 75%, but 65% works. So we're going to look at our tools some more, and we'll take off that pot. So you'll see here, I am running his armor replica with 2 resistance release natures. So we have about 18% there. I'm also using these tools that came in the Shino bundles. This is another 9%, and this is pretty much, 17%. And then we have the last one, Valentine's Chocolate from Rin, where we're running 2 10%. So I got some really good rolls on that one. And then we'll be using 1 of the rings. We'll be using our highest one, which is 8.2. And that gives us a grand total of 65.61 resistances. And we will take off this pot. And then after this, no, we need Hashi. We don't need the pot. So we're going to put him here. We'll actually put the pot here so it's easier to activate. Okay. So first we'll be running Narukage, or 7th Hokage. I don't know why. I don't care what I call him. So before, if you remember, you'll watch the video. I think it was like 3. This time, we gotta take the pot off because we just maxed him out. All right. Installations. I'm gonna take that off. All right. So here we go. Take 2 or 3. All right. So now we're gonna run this. We're gonna see how many it takes. So this is 1. He's taking like 100 damage. This 2. This is 3. That's 4. And that's 5. Okay, hold on. He ran away. We gotta wait for that to come back up. So that's 5. And he should be dead. No, he's not. Okay. What? 6. So it took 6 full rotations. I was left with only 700 chakra. So now we're going to test it against Sage of 6 Paths. So again, we'll just have him run through this pool. Primarily, like, most of his damage will be taken from damage over time. Alright, so we're gonna do that. So you see, like, now he's taking anywhere from 200 to the highest I've seen is 300 or 370. Hasn't gone above that. He's still left with over half his health. We're gonna try this again. Yeah, he's taking more damage from damage over time than he is actually taking from standing in the pool. So we're gonna switch this up. We're gonna actually just throw a whole bunch at him to see how many he can survive, because the AI is running out, and it's just the damage over time is actually doing a lot more damage. So we're gonna try to hit him with as many as we can right now. So that's 1. This is 2. This is 3. He's running away because the AI does have a brain sometimes. And that's 4. And he's dead. Alright, so now we're going to put our pot up. We're going to see how much that increases the survivability. Because I think, like, the other thing we're talking about is, like, I don't think this in and of itself is going to change how the game is played. The effects do have to get a little bit higher just because it's so time intensive to build one of these units right now. It does take quite a bit of prep time. It takes quite a bit of time and effort in general. But what this is designed to do is this is designed to give you options. You know, you're not going to run a base now with 8 defenders who are all running resistances, but maybe you sneak one in there. So when someone's using, you know, their Sage of 6 Paths, they're just like, what the fuck? Like, why can't I kill this defender now? And that's kind of what you want to do. It's like, okay, like, I was able to take all these other guys easily, but now I'm having trouble with this one. And so we're going to actually, let's just do this. So this is 1. So this is 2. Three. This is 4. This is 5. Okay, he dodged it. So 5 incoming now. This is 6. This is 7. This is 8, and I essentially ran out of chakra. I have enough for one more jutsu, and now I'm completely out of chakra. So, like, yeah, build like this can actually completely shut down an Hokage who does not want the ultimate. So we're going to now test this against Sage of 6 Paths, and then we'll do our ultimate testing. Let's make sure this is up. Alright, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it took 4, and this was like with stacked pools. So I mean, like, I think kind of like the results speak for themselves. You know, I'm not trying to like make sure everyone is now doing this, but like it's definitely worth like, you know, examining what's happening here. So with that being said, we're gonna start our ultimate test now. For that, we don't need our pot because defense doesn't matter, as we talked about before. But our release type ultimates are KLM. So you'll see here we are using his Tail Beast Planetary Rasen Shuriken at level 8. This has 10,000 POW. It does do a large amount of damage and is also multi-hit. You also see my KLM Naruto has just under 11, well, just over 11,000 attack. So we're going to try that. So there he is. We're just going to fire this off. And I think, honestly, that wouldn't have killed him if I didn't hit him directly with the first hit. It's probably not worth testing again because we want to get on with the video. But the fact that he was able to survive up until the last hit on the level 8 ultimate is fairly impressive at 65% resistances. So now you'll see here we're looking at another level 8 ultimate, release type ultimate. We have Kieran, Karmic Lightning. This has just under 11,000 POW. This is another multi-hit jutsu, and it does set up a damaging field. If we're looking here, you'll notice my Kieran Sasuke has just over 17,000 attack. So we'll use that. So he died in the first couple of hits. Not really surprising there. Alright, so now I think our next release type ultimate is actually Sage of 6 Paths again. So we have another level 8 ultimate. You'll see here it has just under 12,000 POW. This does a huge amount of damage multiple times, and it's also going to decrease nature resistances at level release and impact from levels 1 through 7, and is going to decrease all natures at level 7. So yeah, I don't see Hashi's, and I have a 68% nature boost. I don't see Hashi surviving this, but you know, let's test it. So make sure his name disappears so we get the full damage. Oh wow. So they're like 81,000. Not really surprising there. So we're gonna look at our next release type ultimate, which I think is Darui, and that will be his Laser Circus. So you see here we have a level 8 Laser Circus. So we're gonna put that on. You'll see it has only 5,000 POW, and it deals a medium amount of damage, and it's another multi-hit jutsu. Let's look at my Darwi's attack. He has just under 20,000 attack, so I don't expect him to survive this either, but we'll see. Apparently I have a lot of level 8 release type jutsu, so we're gonna try this here. We're gonna wait for his name to disappear so we get those damage numbers. So the 3 hit, it needed all 3 hits to kill him. I do think Laser Circus is a 4-hit jutsu, but essentially he could avoid it if the AI was smarter. So that's good worth noting. We're going to switch this back because last time I didn't, I got killed. Alright, so our next release type ultimate is, it belongs to Wandering Ninja Sasuke. So we also have him at 14,000 attack. So we're going to take off. We have 2 ultimates. Okay, yeah, so we have 2. So we're going to test the level 1, which has 4,000 POW. And then we're going to test the level 3 ultimate. So we're going to run through that. Okay, he's down there now. So yeah, level 1 ultimate just left him with half his health. So yeah, so we have finally 1 win for Hashi at 65%. So now we're going to test this level 3 ultimate, because Hashi was having a tough time with these level 8s. Alright, so we're going to do this again. So even the level 3 ultimate, he was able to survive it. So I think our next, we're going to actually switch him back to his other ultimate. Also is level 6 planetary devastation. So I think our next release type character is who? Oh, we missed Itachi. So our next release type character is Itachi. Oh no, it's not. It's definitely Tsunade. So we're gonna use Tsunade. You'll see here we are running a Adamantine Rupture at level 3. At level 3, it has just under 6,000 power, and it deals a large amount of damage. This is another multi-hit jutsu. And she has just under 11,000 attack. It's kind of also like worth mentioning that not all ultimates are equal. Even at level 1, with some of my testing, 30% isn't enough to survive with release type or lunge type, but it does seem enough to survive on annihilation types. So there's definitely some, I think, hidden modifiers being done here. So we'll do that. He was able to survive up to 2 hits, so another win for Hashi here. We're just going to end this. Alright, so we're going to switch Tsunade back to her meiotic generation. There we go. So now we're going to be looking at my Itachi. So you'll see here, Itachi, he's gotten a little bit of an upgrade since his last video. So now he's just at he's over 14,000 attack. And you'll see we're running Yasaka beads, which is it's a level 5 ultimate, and this has 7,000 pow. This deals a large amount of damage, and is another multi-hit jutsu. It deals at least 2 hits. So we're going to test this out. We're going to wait for his name to disappear so we can get some decent numbers. So yeah, he was able to tank the first hit, and if I didn't, if the bead had missed, he would have actually survived the second hit. So at level 5, he needs 2 hits to actually kill this Hashirama. I think our next release type, is it? No, it's not. Those are impact. I think it's actually Mitsuki. Let's see. So yeah, it is Mitsuki. So we have our striking shadow snake assault at level 1. You'll see here this has 4,000 pow. So this summons countless white snakes, dealing a large amount of damage and randomly inflicting poison, confusion, or darkness. Increased damage dealt to poison enemies. So this is another multi-hit jutsu. And it looks like what we're going to have to count on is that poison being affected on the first 2 hits or 3 hits, and then having the additional damage being done being increased by the poison. So he has just under 14. He has over 14,000 attack. Let's try this. All right, so the name is gone. So he's gonna get hit by everything. And it looks like he got poisoned and he still didn't die. So yeah, Hashi versus level 1 ult. It did almost kill him, but it didn't quite do it. Alright, so I think what is our next release type ultimate? So we have Naruto with his Rasengan. So we're gonna actually use the Rasengan. You'll see here my Naruto has just under 16,000 attack, and we're using a level 1 Rasengan with 4,000 pow. This also causes a large amount of damage. And it dealt 25,000 damage, but it actually wasn't enough to kill him. So level 2 Rasengan might have actually done it. Alright, so I think our last release type jutsu, last release nature jutsu I have for ultimates is V1 Sasuke. Oh no, it's V1 Sasuke, Boruto, and then Might Guy. So we're gonna do those guys. Oh, and Toby. Toby has a release type ultimate too, I think. But his attack is kind of low, so we're not even going to do that. I don't want to give him new cards just to test that. Alright, so we're going to use, oh, we didn't do it. Oh, we'll look at it afterwards. So he has Chidori True Spear. So this has another 2 hits. So that's the first hit. And the second hit wasn't enough to kill him. So we'll look at the Sasuke now. So you'll see here, he has, again, another 14,000 attack character, and then Chidori True Spear has 4,000 pow, and it deals a large amount of damage, and yeah, it's a multi-hit jutsu, and it wasn't enough to kill him. And I think that's pretty much We might end the video there, or we'll use Guy. All right. So Guy, Hidora. So you'll see here, at level 1, this has just under 5,000 POW, and this deals a huge amount of damage. And my Guy only has 12,000 attack. So we're gonna try that. So I've done this before, and for some reason it doesn't. Hidora is not resisted, so I'm not sure if Bandai dropped the ball here, but you'll notice he'll get hit for the full damage. There's no resist that comes up for this. Yeah, see, it's not resisted at all. So I'm not sure if Hidora was meant to be a normal type jutsu or what's going on there, but it's not a release type jutsu, or it doesn't register as release type. So now we have Asaku Jaku. And you'll see here, 4,000 POW. This also deals a large amount of damage and is multi-hit. So we're just going to do that. And I think we'll end the video after that, because we're probably at like 26, 27 minutes. I don't know. We're at 30. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be the last one. So that's gone. So we're just going to do this here now. And yeah, it doesn't... Nothing happens. Hashi pretty much wiped that off. Alright, so yeah, so like I said, I don't think right now, I guess like my thoughts, I don't think right now, if you're someone who's crafting just the tool factory, this is enough to kind of be a viable build. However, when and if tier 5 effects do drop, you don't want to start with 0 resist. There's no reason to assume that tier 5 effects are going to be any easier to grind than tier 4 effects. So at least if you have some tier 4 effects now, it'll make it easier when you get those tier 5 effects. Essentially, like, you know, you can replace your tier 4 tools with tier 5 tools as you can craft them, as opposed to like starting with nothing and then like saying, okay, you know, I'll wait 2 or 3 months for tier 5 effects, and you wait 2 or 3 months with nothing. You should be crafting those tools now if you can, just even if you're not using them, just so when the tier 5 effect tools do hit, you can stack those resistances and you actually have viable builds, you know, as soon as you're able to craft these things. I'll be making a tool guide or factory guide soon, preferably before the tier 5 effect tools happen, because it's pretty much still going to stay the same. You know, we're looking for certain stats and we're looking for certain effects. Those aren't going to change. It's just the only reason why it would change is depending on what you're trying to defend against. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I hope everyone's staying safe. You're taking proper precautions. I'll have up either a guild attack and mission video, a solo AM video. I'm still working on the bingo book, and there's another thing I'm working on. So yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll probably drop another video later this week. You know, stay safe. Demonize Kill out.